Okay, it's like currently 1 in the morning right now, and I watched a YouTube video about like some person putting Dandy's World characters in the Hunger Games, and I actually made this like a few days ago. I have all the Disventure Camp characters, even the Carnival of Chaos ones, in like a Hunger Games simulator. So I made it a few days ago. I also added in some custom prompts too. And we're gonna see if we can get them. I'll probably add in a link for it, but I'll probably like maybe not or something. It's literally been 1 fucking minute. Oh god. Anyways, as I was saying, it's gonna be like uh okay, we're just gonna why am I like talking? I'm gonna proceed, I'm gonna proceed. Yes, I added events. Alright, now, here we go. I don't want this to be long with me yapping. Anyways. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Tess finds a bag full of explosives. Ellie rips a mace out of Richard's hands. Ivy finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Amelie breaks Isabel's nose for a basket of bread. Yule runs away from the cornucopia. Marissa runs away from the cornucopia. Natalia runs away from the cornucopia. James and Rosa Maria fight Ria and Kai. James and Rosa Maria survive. Well, we already have our first two dead. Hannah runs away from the cornucopia. Nick runs away from the cornucopia. Jake grabs a sword. Benji runs away from the cornucopia. Logan runs away from the cornucopia. Ashley runs away from the cornucopia and hides. Carol convinces Will not to kill her, only to kill him instead. Well, there goes our third death. Maggie, Lil, Oliver, and Jade form a suicide pact, killing themselves. Well, there are more people dead. Alessio scares Ted away from the cornucopia. Dan runs away from the cornucopia. Hunter runs away from the cornucopia. Lake runs away from the cornucopia. Diego and Zaid fight for a bag. Zaid gives up and retreats. Fiore runs away from the cornucopia. Tristan runs away from the cornucopia. Drew grabs a backpack and retreats. Linda runs away from the cornucopia. Tom runs away from the cornucopia. Allie runs away from the cornucopia. Alec runs away. Miriam grabs a sword. Gret runs away. Spencer breaks Connor's nose for a basket of bread. Gabby runs away. Aiden gets a sword, and Anastasia runs away. Logan attacks Gret, but she manages to escape. Yule goes hunting. Gabby and Fiore hunt for other tributes. Dan and Jake work together for the day. Alec injures himself. Oh, here's a custom prompt. Tess is justifiably angry that Rhea won All-Stars and somehow still has a career after everything she's done. Base Tess, we all fucking hate Tess. Hashtag, no, we all hate Rhea, fuck. Anyways, base test, we all hate fucking Rhea. Hashtag we hate Rhea, she shouldn't have won All-Stars. Anyways. James discovers a river. Tristan constructs a shack. Ted, Drew, and Carol hunt for other tributes. Allie receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Rosa Maria hunts for other tributes. Richard receives a hatchet. Ellie tries to sleep throughout the day. Miriam is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Hannah receives medical supplies. Benji receives clean water. Ivy diverts Hunter's attention and runs away. Connor defeats Ashley in a fight but spares her life. Marissa receives an explosive. Anastasia attacks Nick, but he manages to escape. Zaid searches for firewood. Amelie and Natalia split up and search for resources. Isabel makes a wooden spear. Spencer overhears Linda and Lake talking in the distance. Aiden practices his archery. Alessio explores the arena. Diego makes a slingshot. And Tom is dead. Great. 8 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Rhea, Kai, Will, Maggie, Lil, Oliver, Jade, and Tom. Diego tends to his wounds. Spencer, Tess, Hunter, and Yule sleep in shifts. Ashley thinks about home. Rosa Maria receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Carol, Ted, and Tristan sleep in shifts. Fiore, Richard, Isabel, and Allie tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. James sets up camp for the night. Connor fends Alec, Hannah, and Natalia away from his fire. Drew stays up all night watching Disventure Camp Brain Rot. Alessia receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Ellie quietly hums. Gret and Lake talk about the tributes still alive. Aiden quietly hums. Logan stays awake all night. Zaid tries to treat his infection. Ivy tries to sing herself to sleep. Dan sets an explosive off, killing Benji and Nick. Linda tends to Miriam's wounds. Anastasia cooks her food before putting her fire out. Gabby, Marissa, and Amelie cheerfully sing songs together, and Jake tries to sing himself to sleep. Okay. Ted receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Drew thinks about home. Marissa and Connor do a double greeting for an unknown sponsor. Natalia tries to sleep throughout the day. Carol tries to sleep through the entire day. They both did. Aiden discovers a river. Yule receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Hannah is also justifiably angry that Rhea won. Well, I'm glad that Rhea died. Isabel discovers a river. Ashley accidentally steps on a landmine. Lake camouflages herself in the bushes. Logan tries to sleep through the entire day. Zaid sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Miriam camouflages herself in the bushes. Gret and James do a double greeting for an unknown sponsor. Gabby and Anastasia hunt for other tributes. Fiore and Richard track down and kill Allie. Ivy defeats Amelie in a fight but spares her life. Tess tries to sleep throughout the entire day. Diego runs away from Dan. Tristan's trap kills Hunter. Alec injures himself. Alessio overhears Ellie and Jake talking in the distance. Rosa Maria overhears Linda and Spencer talking in the distance. 5 cannon shots can be heard. Benji, Nick, Ashley, Allie, and Hunter. James screams for help. Tess lets Ellie into her shelter. Okay, yeah, that would probably be something they would do in canon because, they, know each other from college. Logan tends to Tristan's wounds. Connor quietly hums. Anastasia... Okay! Linda looks at the night sky. Lake receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Alessio begs for Aiden to kill him. He refuses, keeping Alessio alive. Jake and Diego are dead. Zaid loses sight of where he is. Carol climbs a tree to rest. Ted stays up all night watching Disventure Camp Brain Rot. So does Spencer. Isabel stays awake all night. Alex stabs Shiori in the back with a trident. Drew, Natalia, and Miriam get into a fight. Natalia triumphantly kills them both. Rosa, Amelie, Gret, and Dan tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Yule strangles Hannah after engaging in a fist fight. Ivy passes out from exhaustion. Alright, here we go. Ted, James, Linda, and Alec and Spencer hunt for other tributes. Isabel steals from Zaid while he isn't looking. Logan explores the arena. Oh my god, this is 10 minutes already. Rosa Maria, Connor, and Tess hunt for other tributes. Natalia sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Tristan searches for a water source. Gret collects fruit from a tree. Alessio kills Aiden with a sickle. Alessio, didn't you just beg Aiden to kill you, like, during the night? Ivy, Richard, Anastasia, Yule, and Gabby hunt for other tributes. Ellie is also justifiably angry that Rhea won All-Stars. Dan severely slices Marissa with a sword. Dan? How do you even manage to do that? Marissa has military strength. You don't. How? Carol kills Amelie with a hatchet. Lake accidentally steps on a landmine. 10 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Jake, Diego, Fiore, Drew, Miriam, Hannah, Aiden, Marissa, Amelie, and Lake. Alright, we're at the third night. Tess receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Isabel is awoken by nightmares. Natalia is awoken by nightmares. Gabby destroys Connor's supplies while he's asleep. Ted loses sight of where he is. Ellie starts a fire. Logan, Zaid, or how do you pronounce this?
Zaid.
And Yule cheerfully sing songs together. Anastasia climbs a tree. Oh my god, I can't fucking talk. Anastasia climbs a tree to rest. James receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Alec defeats Carol in a fight but spares her life. Gret stays awake all night. Ivy, Richard, and Linda cheerfully sing songs together. Dan accidentally steps on a landmine. Tristan looks at the night sky. Rosa Maria is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Spencer thinks about winning, and Alessio tries to treat his infection. Connor sets an explosive off, killing Tristan, Ted, and Ivy. Richard receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Anastasia travels to higher ground. Tess. Oh my god, I think it was a mistake recording this at 1 in the fucking morning. Anyways, Yule practices his archery. Isabel receives an unknown explosive from an unknown sponsor. Logan tends to Alec's wounds. Linda, Gret, and Gabby get into a fight. Gret triumphantly kills them both. James searches for a water source. Ellie is also angry. Alessio tends to Zaid's wounds. Spencer practices his archery. Rosa Maria scares Natalia off. Carol sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. And now we proceed. A volcano erupts in the cornucopia. In the center of the arena. Let's see who survives. Gret survives. Rosa Maria survives. Ellie lives. James survives. Richard. Alessio. Logan. Zaid pushes Carol in the lava. Isabel survives. Alec. As Spencer trips over Yule in the lava, he grabs him and pulls him down with him. Natalia suffocates. Connor pushes Tess in the lava, and Anastasia is buried in ash. 12 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Dan, Tristan, Ted, Ivy, Linda, Gabby, Carol, Spencer, Yule, Natalia, Tess, and Anastasia. Ellie defeats Isabel in a fight, but spares her life. James is awoken by nightmares. Zaid sets up camp for the night. Alessio cooks his food before putting his fire out. Alec begs for Gret to kill him. She refuses, keeping Alec alive. Richard screams for help. Connor, Logan, and Rosa Maria cheerfully sing songs together. The feast is here. Alessio and Isabel work together to drown Logan. Ellie overpowers Gret, killing her. Rosa Maria and Connor get into a fight over raw meat, but Rosa Maria gives up and runs away. Zaid decides not to go to the feast. Richard bashes James's head in with a mace. Alec accidentally steps on a landmine. Zaid pushes Ellie off a cliff during a night fight. Isabella discovers a river. Connor discovers a river. Richard injures himself. Rosa Maria explores the arena. Alessio makes a slingshot. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Logan, Gret, James, Alec, Ellie. Isabel, Zaid, and Connor sleep in shifts. Richard defeats Alessio in a fight but spares his life. Rosa Maria starts a fire. Connor makes a slingshot. Richard does a greeting for an unknown sponsor. Alessio receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Rosa Maria sees smoke rising in the distance. Zaid discovers a river. Isabella receives medical supplies for an unknown sponsor. No cannon shots can be heard. Alessio defeats Isabel in a life but spares her life. Rosa Maria receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Zaid falls into a pit and dies. Connor unknowingly eats toxic berries. Richard is awoken by nightmares. Alessio and Rosa Maria split up to search for resources. Richard severely slices Isabel with a sword. 2 cannon shots can be heard. Zaid and Connor. And Isabel too. Wait, I thought that said 2. I meant 3. Alessio thinks about home. Rosa Maria, okay, we're skipping that. Alessio injures himself. Rosa Maria thinks about home. Richard dies from thirst. And Rosa Maria is dead. Alessio wins, everyone. Wow. What a game. Anyways, I guess I'll end the video here. This video, I don't think should have been like 19 minutes long, but whatever. It's literally 1:31 a.m. I should be asleep right now, but my sleep-deprived ass is still awake. Goodbye.